Hello, dear fans, friends, and subscribers. Welcoming you all to this Saturday edition, the weekend edition of my Cricket Happening show with you all. And It's 10th of February 2024. In this particular cricket show, what we are going to see, I'm going to talk about some very exciting news coming in. But the flagship or the main cricket show event today will be everybody in India and Australia would be keeping an eye on Benoni in South Africa, where the under 19 World Cup finals between India and Australia take place. India is gunning for their sixth title. And Australia the other day doing a jailbreak against Pakistan in the last over to really surprise Pakistan and enter the finals for a meeting with India. So definitely it's a big event. As you know, these are the under 19 players who actually in the final bend finally come, they make their transition into the main team. So all the eyes will be fixed on that to see what is the talent that is emerging and what a match that is going to be. The under 19 World Cup final tomorrow on Sunday in Benoni. Now, also a shout out for one of my very big subscriber by the name Nikhil, who actually loves my cricket show, and he actually, due to him today, that I am doing this as a special preview of the under 19 World Cup finals. And also another news that I would like to talk, the most exciting news, the most exciting cricket player, I think, in the year 2024 to me is none other than Shamar Joseph, who made waves against Australia the other day, taking them to a victory over the Australians in Australia after 1997. So it was an absolute drought for the West Indies in Australia. And here comes Shamar Joseph. Now, Mark Wood has been termed as Mark Wood wouldn't be playing in the IPL 2024, which is unfortunate, but it has become a big gain for none other than Lucknow Super Giants, who have scalped Shamar Joseph as their player. I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm extremely happy. Yes, I feel sorry for Mark Wood, but Shamar Joseph will be making his IPL debut in the year 2024 in India. And that is, to me, is the most exciting news in cricket today. Right. But the under 19 World Cup final will definitely hold the top spot. I'll come back to that. But also, the other things that I'll be talking about on this particular show is England losing to India. India actually conquering England in the second test match with Jasprit Bumrah putting up a magnificent bowling performance. And Jasprit Bumrah has really made India very proud, because he has also become the first ever Indian fast bowler, the pace bowler, to actually go on the top of the ICC cricket rankings in ICC history. And that's a big feather in the cap for India. Over and above that, the other things that I'll be looking at today on this cricket show will be Pathum Nissanka of Sri Lanka yesterday carrying his bat through the innings against Afghanistan and becoming the first ever Sri Lankan player to score a double century in one-day cricket history for Sri Lanka, and Afghanistan making a real fist of that chase. Absolutely a wonderful partnership being put by Mohammad Nabi and a big game player, according to me, who is going to make a lot of waves in the future for Afghanistan as a key all-rounder, Azmatullah Omar Zai. And also Australia versus West Indies, we had a match which had lots of fire in it, where the West Indians and Australians fought a very exciting match, and in the end it was the Aussies who prevailed over the West Indies by 11 runs in the first T20 match. Another young gun by the name Fraser made his debut against the West Indians in the ODI, and he looks to me, the most exciting cricketer coming out from Australia, and that is great for world cricket. And also, I think Shamar Joseph and Fraser McGurk for me are the most exciting young talents, because I am really amazed by the bat speed of this young 21-year-old boy by the name from Australia, Jake Fraser McGurk. He has tremendous bat speed. He has no sighters. He just goes there, slam, bang, bang. And I'm looking forward. I know that Australia can't include him in the T20 World Cup in the United States and the West Indies, but definitely Darren Sammy, the West Indian coach, has hinted at Shamar Joseph giving them a real headache by putting his hat into the ring for the T20 World Cup. I would love to see Shamar Joseph being included in the T20 World Cup. And also, I have a strong feeling that I would be, again, extremely happy for that young 20-year-old Australian boy, Jake Fraser McGurk, who could really make a great impression in the T20 World Cup, if at all he's selected. But one has to wait and watch. But let's be patient. And as I said, I know I've been talking a lot, but definitely, as I said, this is a preview going for one of my very dear friends on this cricket show by the name Nikhil, who wanted me to actually do a preview of the Under-19 World Cup finals. And here I am, Nikhil, for your sake, I'm going to do the preview of the Under-19 World Cup finals. Talking of the Under-19 World Cup finals, tomorrow, as I said, final in Benoni, February 11, 2024. It's an Under-19 World Cup final, will decide as to who would be the Under-19 World Cup champions in the year 2024. It is India versus Australia. But before I go back to the on the preview, yes, I'll be talking about both these teams, but it starts local time 3 a.m. Over probably in Canada it's 3 a.m. And just talking about this clash, one thing that I would like to talk about as far as India and Australia is concerned is, first, let's look at the stats here. India are gunning for their sixth World Cup title. Australia beat last time it was Mitchell Marsh, who was the captain of the Australian under-19 team when India lost to them in the year 2010. So all the eyes will be fixed on this under-19 World Cup final, which is coming up tomorrow. So, as far as Benoni is concerned, from what we have seen, there have been a lot of movement. There have been the swing bowlers have been really assisted. There's been a lot of there have been good carry for the fast bowlers as well. So it will be interesting as to who will win the toss and what would be the one. But before I go into Australia, let's talk about Australia the other day doing a jailbreak against the Pakistanis in the final over with 4 runs to win. And one thing that everyone, Australia and India, would be very aware about, it was the overrate penalty, which resulted in Pakistan having fewer men inside the circle. And that really played in favor of Australia, but not taking any credit away from the Aussies, as the Aussies did a jailbreak and entered the finals. But Pakistan, I feel for them. Yes, they're definitely, there's a lot of talent in them as well, but it was not. And talking about now doing a preview of the Under-19 World Cup final, I'm going to first look at the Aussies. As far as the Aussies are concerned, Sam Constas is a very, very good batsman. Harjaz Singh, who has turned himself from a right-hander into a left-hander. Ryan Hicks is the wicketkeeper. Oliver Peak. And I know, let's talk about Tom Straker the other day. In fact, breaking all the Under-19 World Cup records, especially the record was held by none other than the South African fast bowler, Kagiso Rabada. He broke that record by picking up, I think he picked up 6 wickets, if I'm not wrong, or 7. But it was this is a new record which was set by Tom Straker with 6 wickets. And also, let's talk about Callum Widler, who has been a real surprise weapon for Australia, because he generates with the pace that he has, he could really surprise you with a 140 clicks delivery, and he has been pretty impressive. So we are really looking forward to Australia. Now, talking about India, they have been led by a very, very good captain by the name Uday Saharan. And Uday Saharan has himself been leading by example. He has been scoring very, very consistently. So that is good news. Arshin Kulkarni is a big game player who likes to give the ball a real tonk. And also, he's a very good all rounder. He's tall. He has modeled himself on none other than the South African, which is a real surprise, according to me, that Ashin Kulkarni has not modeled himself on any Indian cricket player. He has modeled himself on the former South African all-rounder Jack Scalise. So that is something that is really something very interesting, according to me. And then we have Sachin Das, who has been doing a good job. But then we have Aravelli Avinish, the wicketkeeper. Murugan Abhishek has been doing a good job. The pace bowlers, Raj Limbani has been pretty impressive. Soumi Pandey has been doing a good job. So definitely there's a lot of things for India to really look forward to. And India should be the favorites against Australia, but they can't take anything lightly. The Aussies, we know they are a wonderful, wonderful team. They have come into the finals. So there will be a lot of respect for Australia. But as far as India is concerned, India will be gunning for the sixth title. One thing that I would like to say here is that the Indian senior team in the finals against Australia in India missed out and gave a sort of a heartbreak for the Indian fans. But can this Indian junior team go and beat Australia and really give a joy to a lot of the Indian fans this time around? So this is going to be the $1,000,000 question. Can India beat Australia in the finals and lift the Under-19 World Cup for the sixth time in their history? Well, good luck to both the teams, and let's have a great game of cricket. So now I'm going to shift my attention from the Under-19 World Cup, and we are going to the India versus England. It is going to be a skimmer, my friends. So because of lack of time, second test at Visakhapatnam, England leveling the series with India leveling the series by winning by 106 runs. The main architect was none other than Jasprit Bumrah, bowling some unplayable deliveries to the Englishmen. And as I said, Jasprit Bumrah to me is on in an absolute roll. He had figures of 6 for 45 in the first innings, 3 for 46 in the second innings, and he was the one who brought the England down. And what a match for this another bloke. Definitely want us to talk about this very, very talented youngster Yashasvi Jaiswal, who scored his maiden double century against England, 209, 19 fours and 7 sixes, which really was the this was the fulcrum as far as the Indian team was concerned, according to me. Some very, very notable performers. And England, well, everybody on the final day were really very scared that whether England will play baseball cricket and they would probably go for a victory. It was not to be, as Jasprit Bumrah absolutely ran riot, and certain deliveries were such that the Englishmen were bamboozled, as we call it in cricket. And also, one thing I have to talk about Jasprit Bumrah, he has also become the first ever Indian pace bowler to go on the top of the tree in the ICC cricket rankings in ICC history. And that is, as I said, it's a big feather in the cap for the Indians. Less. So I'm not going to go much. The next thing I'll be talking about is the Australia versus West Indies. First, let me talk about one young, as I said, an exciting talent by the name Jake Fraser Megger, 21 years old, but I've been seeing his batting against the West Indies. The other day he made 41. The Windies were bowled out for 80 odd, and the way Jake Fraser Megger played, the match was over in 6.5 overs, and that man, Fraser Megger, he smashed 41 of 18 balls. He's such a player. He's very, very clear in his batting. Young boy has oodles of talent, according to me. And the way he plays it, for him, it doesn't matter. Cricket, it doesn't, the bowlers' reputations don't matter. He's someone who walks down the wicket and gives the bowlers a taunt. So definitely the opposition bowlers have to be, and probably on thought his offside game was a bit iffy, but it was not, because the way he smashed Alzari Joseph over the covers was an absolutely wonderful sight, according to me. He's learning pretty quickly, and I think he's a big draw card for Australia. And as I said, his bat speed is amazing. I have seen only one player with amazing bat speed, and that was the former Indian captain Mahendra Singh Dhoni. But this man, at the age of 21, is having tremendous bat speed. He can send the ball scurrying over the fence in a jiffy, and really excited as far as international cricket is concerned with this. I think there are two exciting players who are emerging on the world cricket front, and that's exciting news for cricket. One is Shamar Joseph, the bowler from the West Indies, and here he is, this young bloke from the Australia, Jake Fraser McGurk. Absolutely look like a real young guns blazing into all territories. And also, as far as Jake Fraser McGurk is concerned, as I said, he has no fear. He just walks down the wicket even to the pacers and taunts them. The bat speed is amazing. The way he plays, I mean, he's simply dynamite, according to me. And when he's really watching, and I would be absolutely excited to watch him in the, but I think to get him in a T20 World Cup, because as you know, there's a lot of competition, and to get Jake Fraser McGurk in the World Cup would be, unless there's going to be some injury which can happen, and Jake Fraser McGurk comes in. So just going away from Fraser McGurk here, just talking about the first T20 between West Indies and Australia. We had absolute fire in that match, where both the teams fought this match in an admirable manner. Australia making 213 for 7, with the top of the order knocked by none other than David Warner, playing his swan song series, 70 of 36 deliveries, 12 fours and 1 6. And talking about West Indies, they showed the firepower, especially at the top, chasing 212. They were really smashing the Aussie bowlers all across the park. They were 89 for none in 8.3 overs, with Brandon King 53 and Johnson Charles 42 of 25. But after that, it petered out a bit. But Jason Holder kept their hopes alive, but unfortunately, he was not able to take them over the line. And Australia won the first T20 match by 11 runs. Now, turning the attention now to Sri Lanka versus Afghanistan, the first ODI at Palakele, and it was another very good match there. And Sri Lanka, can you believe it? The Sri Lankans have had stalwarts like Mahela Jayawardene, Kumar Sangakkara, but there was no one who had ever scored a ODI double century for Sri Lanka. And here comes a man by the name Pathum Nissanka, not out 210 of 139 deliveries, 24s and 8 sixes against Afghanistan in the first ODI. And he became the first ever Sri Lankan in ODI history to make a double century. And also, one thing that everybody didn't notice is that besides scoring the double century, he carried the bat through the innings, being an opener, and that was an admirable thing. And Sri Lanka made 381 for 3, and the Afghanistanis definitely have to really doff my hat to them, and they showed what they did in the World Cup. 55 for 5 at one stage after 8.3 overs. They put up a grand partnership. Gulbuddin Naib showing, the Mohammad Nabi, the former Afghanistan captain, showing his wares, showing his experience by making 136 and combining in a partnership with Azmatullah Omarzai. According to me, the mercurial all-rounder from Afghanistan, 149, 13 fours and 6 sixes, his maiden ODI century. And definitely gave a real fright to the Sri Lankans. Despite the Sri Lankans making 381, the Afghanistanis making a real fist of it by scoring 339 for 6. with a grand partnership which started at 55 for 5 and ended up at 297 in the 46th over. And when that wicket went, Afghanistan could not forge ahead. Very unfortunate, but what a game we had between Afghanistan and the Sri Lankans. And also, on a very light note, it was expected that New Zealand went on to win the first test against South Africa, who looked a bit hollow, but there were some good things for the South Africans, with David Bedingham showing his batting skills. We saw his batting against the Indians when the Indians went to South Africa, and definitely very impressed by David Bedingham. He became at a one point of time, one thought he will be going to a century. He became a bit ballistic, and he started slashing all the short balls. You'd never bowl short to David Bedingham. He can really whack it. The New Zealand bowlers were really taken for a leather hunt by David Bedingham, 82. Well, dear fans, friends, subscribers, that brings an end to my cricket show here. I hope you all loved this cricket broadcast. And if at all you loved my cricket show, go ahead, subscribe to it on YouTube. You can always see me on Cricket Twitter, on my Twitter page. You can also visit my Facebook cricket page. You can go to my website, www.cricket-status.com. Well, absolute pleasure bringing you this cricket show a bit early today due to my commitments. Hope you all enjoyed this broadcast, and looking forward to your company once more tomorrow on this weekend cricket show on a Sunday, where I will be talking on the under 19. I will be able to tell you as to who are the under 19 World Cup champions 2024. Till such time I meet you, it's all over from here for today, and rest in the next, and see you all tomorrow. Thank you.